Hello! Today I'm making a full digi fursuit, and my first plan was to only film the head of this, as usual, but then I was like, why not? Let's film the whole thing. Well, except for the hand paws, they are already done. But everything else, the feet, paws, body, tail, head, will be built in this video. And yes, I'm making a voiceover for this one, because this video is over 30 minutes long, and I feel like it would be incredibly boring if I just slapped on some music and called it a day. So let's try this, shall we? This is not really scripted, so I'm just gonna tell whatever comes to mind. So basically rambling for 30 minutes. Peak content. Anyway, I started with the feet paws here, and while I'm making the feet paws, let me tell you a little something. So I have this pattern available on my Etsy store, and there is a tutorial also for the pattern, but I've gotten some complaints about it and people think it's not very great, so I think I have to make another one. And it's fine, I can see why it is not great. I think I'm gonna make another one in the future. A better and upgraded tutorial for the feet paws. And now that I am making a voiceover, I of course don't really know what to say. I guess I could tell you a little bit about this commission. So this is gonna be a full digi suit as stated, and this time it's gonna be a pretty interesting hybrid. This commission took me a long time to finish, and I'm finally glad it is done, and I think it turned out very good. I think the technical aspect of this build is one of my best so far, so that's very good. Anyway, here I'm just gluing all the pieces together for the feet paws. As you can see, I'm not going into great detail of what I'm doing here, and also I'm a little out of frame, so sorry about that, you can barely see what I'm doing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do the tutorial, so wait for that, it's gonna be more in depth than this one. Here I am carving the toes to make them smooth and round. A little tip is to carve the toes on the sides a little bit shorter than the toes in the middle to make the feet paws look great. And I'm making one more modification for the feet paws. I'm gonna cut a slit from the back to make the digi look better. Digitigrade. What a hard word to say. I think you get my point. I'm just gonna call it digi. Switching to the body, I'm gonna bulk out the knee and thigh with newspapers. And this will give the body the classic digi look. For this one I switched to vertical mode. I'm sorry, but this was just quite hard to film horizontally. You can still see pretty good what I'm doing, so I'm just patterning the body now. First I wrap the body in cling wrap and then duct tape. Now the body is technically not symmetrical because the thighs have different markings, but I think I can pull it off with only half of the pattern. You know, usually you only have to pattern one side of the suit if the design is symmetrical. There is really no point taping both of the sides if the design is symmetrical, because you can just flip the patterns when doing the other side. Now I'm just drawing all the patterns and the seams. On this thigh I'm drawing the heart and the other side will actually have a star. But as I said, I think I can pull it off with only half of the pattern, so I'm not gonna do the star right here. Doing the exact same things for the feet paws, first wrapping in cling wrap and then duct tape. For the feet paws, they are symmetrical, so I'm only taping one of the feet paws. The toes are a little finicky to pattern because the tape really doesn't want to curve, but just use small pieces of tape, it will get the job done. And switching back to the body, I'm cutting out all of the pattern pieces. And I'm also removing the newspapers because I need to take a tape pattern from this as well. I need it for the padding later. Then tracing all the pieces to my fabric, and these are the sleeves. You have to overcompensate quite a lot for the sleeves. So I am overdrawing and overcutting the sleeves. If you make them skin tight, you will not be able to bend your arms because the fur fabric doesn't really stretch. You know, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's easier to take in than add more if they turn out to be the wrong size. And here are all the body pieces cut. You can see the star there. I made it work. And the feet paw pieces are also cut. And sewed already. Yes, I did not film the sewing at all. It's a nightmare trying to film a sewing machine. I can just never get the lighting good, so not filming that. Now I'm just gluing on the toes with hot glue. And trimming off the excess fur. We don't need it to be this long on the bottom. For the leg, I'm gonna use a spray adhesive. It's fast and it doesn't weigh anything, unlike hot glue that weighs quite a lot. And the toes get a final shape to make them look clean. I made a pattern for the tail with newspaper, and now tracing and cutting the pieces out of fur. I'm just gonna get all of the cutting out of the way now. Fun fact, or I guess not so fun, I actually really hate cutting the fur. But my favorite part is the sewing, so I can always look forward to it. The tail also get the heart and star motifs. And I am gonna pre-shave the pieces to save me the headache later. For the tail itself, I left myself 2 turning holes and attached the zipper already. This tail will have zipper and belt loop attachments. The zipper is already sewn, so now I'm gonna sew the belt loops, but this had to be done by hand because you can't really sew a closed loop with the sewing machine. And now turning it inside out, and I'm gonna add foam on the base of the tail for stability. I'm also gonna add foam for the fin, and I'm gonna glue it down with the spray adhesive and hot glue. I attached one more little foam piece for the fin. This could have been already attached to the big foam piece, but I didn't think about it, so I'm gonna attach it now. And I'm gluing the tail to the fin, and I want to make sure these will never come apart. This is a high stress area after all, so I'm both gluing and sewing this area. And then adding the stuffing from the 2 turn holes. I actually really overcompensated how much stuffing I would need for this. I bought like 4 packs of stuffing for this, but in the end I only used 1. Oh well, I can use the stuffing later for other projects. I'm probably gonna have stuffing for a lifetime. Anyway, now sewing the turn holes by hand. I did not film any of the bodysuit sewing because, as I said, filming a sewing machine is not very fun, so here you'll just see me sharpening up the thigh markings. Look at that crisp edge, so satisfying. Then it's finally time to make the face. I'm doing a kimono style head this time, and a pattern for this head is actually available on my Etsy store. Now, you may know that I got a 3D printer recently. I've actually printed 1 kimono head with that. I'm still gonna prioritize the foam bases, but you know, there's an option for a 3D printed head base now if you'd like. As I said, I printed 1 kimono head base with that. It's actually for my own character. I think I'm gonna make a video out of that as well. Anyway, back to this one. So this funny looking piece will become the muzzle. The face takes a lot of cutting to make it smooth and perfect. Then gluing the face on the balaclava. Actually, I've improved my balaclavas, or I guess linings, a lot lately. I think this one turned out pretty good, but there is still one little thing I noticed that I can improve, so I feel like my next commission will be the best balaclava I've done so far. You know, if I can be completely honest here, I don't really like zippers on fursuit heads, at least not personally. I would never add a zipper on my own fursuit heads, but I know a lot of people find them convenient, so I will add them for you. Well, unless you specifically ask me to not add one, that's fine as well. But, you know, in the future, zippers will become a normal part of my commissions. It's not something that you have to ask specifically anymore. Anyway, here I am adding the ears. They look a little bit like bat ears now, don't they? It's not supposed to be a bat. It's, I believe, a cat hybrid. I have to ask about that. Anyway, I was correct about the cat, but you wanna know what the other part of the hybrid is? It's a mermaid! When I was telling you about the commission earlier, I mentioned that the hybrid this time is pretty interesting. So this is what it is, a cat and a mermaid. Smoothing out the back a little bit as well. No more bat ears, only cat. Then making the eyes, I'm cutting some thin EVA-foam for the bases. These are gonna be 3D or follow me eyes. They have an illusion that makes it look like the eyes are always looking at you. But it's nothing too complicated. The pupils are basically embedded a little bit, kinda like a cup. As you can see, the mesh or the painted part of the eyes is lower than the edge of the eye. This will create that illusion. You can kind of see it here already. As you can see, the colored part is closer to the camera than the white part. I'm painting on the catch lights when the eyes are on the Fursuit head to correctly place them. I made little teeth from thermoplastic and I'm finishing the inside of the mouth now. It just has the red fleece and the teeth glued on. Then making the tape pattern for the face. This time I will tape both sides of the face, since the design is not symmetrical. But I'm only gonna do it on the face since the rest will be symmetrical. You know, I don't have to tape both sides of the back of the head or the neck or the ears, but I will do it on the face since the eyes will have different patterns around them. You know, the heart and star motifs that have been around the design already. I made paper mock-ups first before transferring it on the tape. And also drawing the rest of the patterns. Cutting the tape patterns out. Here we have all of the fur pieces cut. I'm gonna pre-shave some of them, mainly around the eyes and nose. And then all of them get sewn together. which I will once again not show because it was done mostly on the sewing machine. Anyway, gluing on the eyes. Then gluing on the face. This is the first time I'm actually gluing on the face alone. Usually the neck and back are already attached. But this technique worked very well, so I may use it next time as well. Hand sewing on the back of the head and the neck. I was mostly able to sew them on the back side anyway, so it worked out very well. Gluing the ears on with hot glue. Hand sewing the ears as well, this time using the ladder stitch because I had to sew them from the right side. And also using the ladder stitch for the neck. The nose is mostly glued on, but the top seam is actually sewn for extra stability. Gluing on strips of fleece on the edge of the mouth to hide the raw edge. Making a tape pattern for the eyeliner, and I actually made this before the nose and mouth, so sorry about the continuity error. It just made sense to make the eyeliner in one go. Transferring the eyeliner on paper. And then tracing and cutting the eyeliner out of thin EVA foam, the same stuff used for the eye bases. the nose and mouth are back, yay! Anyway, gluing on the eyeliner now. And with that, the fursuit is finished. And here it is. What do you think? I think it turned out very great. And truth to be told, I'm actually too tall for this fursuit, but I was able to squeeze myself in. It was very tight on me, honestly. I hope I didn't stretch it out too much. I think it'll be fine. Anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye!